Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly change everything around them? It's not luck, it's not charm, it's the unseen force of personal magnetism. Napoleon Hill revealed that when your mind is disciplined and your purpose is clear, your presence alone can inspire some and deeply disturb others. I'm John Garcia, and you're watching the Napoleon Hill channel. If this message resonates with you, subscribe now, because every day I bring powerful insights to help you become unstoppable in your journey. And tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I want to know your reality. Napoleon Hill revealed 13 signs that your personal magnetism may be too strong for most people to handle. If people avoid you, feel jealous of you, or grow strangely uneasy in your presence, it isn't your behavior. It's the invisible force of your mental attitude. Hill taught that when the burning light of definiteness of purpose grows inside a person, it doesn't merely inspire others. It reveals their own weaknesses. Part 1. What is personal magnetism, and why did Hill care about it? Your personal magnetism is far more than charm or physical presence. In the philosophy of success, especially Hill's teachings on vibration and thought energy, magnetism can be seen as the invisible current you project, consciously or unconsciously, into the world. It's not only about what people hear in your words, but about what they feel when they are near you. And when that magnetism is powerful, it unsettles others. Not because you are arrogant, but because you embody something rare and deeply disruptive: self-mastery. The mental roots of magnetism. Hill did not use the word aura in mystical terms. Instead, he spoke of the mind as a broadcasting and receiving station of thought, implying that we are not just individuals, but fields of influence affecting one another. To Hill, every person is a complex system of conscious choices, hidden fears, repressed desires, and untapped potential. When someone integrates these forces, what Hill called organizing knowledge with faith and definiteness of purpose, they radiate a presence. This presence is not something they pretend to wear. It emanates naturally and influences others before a word is spoken. That is your personal magnetism, the mental, emotional, and spiritual weight of your character that announces you before you say anything. Powerful magnetism often belongs to people who have conquered fear, faced failure, and stopped begging for approval. They have become whole, not flawless, but complete. And completeness unsettles a world built on compromise. Why strong personal magnetism disturbs people? Hill once declared, "Most people drift through life, waiting for direction, while a few create their own." This truth explains why your magnetism disturbs others. When you carry high-frequency energy, definiteness, emotional depth, unwavering self-confidence, you become a mirror. You reflect back what others are avoiding in themselves. For someone, without direction, being near a person who lives with purpose feels uncomfortable. It reminds them of what they are neglecting. It is like entering a room where everyone hides behind excuses, and you are the only one without one. No matter how humble you act, your very presence becomes a challenge. Why? Because without effort, you expose the artificiality around you. That is the disturbing power of true character. Mental projection and the influence of thought. Hill taught that every human being sends out thought vibrations that affect others. This process is the unseen mechanism of influence. When someone with strong magnetism enters a room, their energy disrupts the unconscious excuses of others. Most people go through life assigning their failures to circumstances or to others. They project fear, doubt, or inferiority outward, so they don't have to confront it inwardly. But when your magnetism is strong, it cuts through those defenses. Your authenticity shatters illusions. This is why Hill insisted that self-mastery carries both privilege and responsibility. It destroys the false stories others cling to. How this appears in social and professional settings. This disturbance is most visible in business, leadership, or group dynamics. Your energy may silently challenge mediocrity or hidden power games without you saying a word. As a result, you may be labeled too ambitious, too driven, too confident, or too intense. But the truth is, you are simply aligned with your purpose. The more disciplined your mind becomes, the more unified your energy is. This unity creates resonance or dissonance in others, depending on how far they are in their own journey toward definiteness of purpose, facing fear and the birth of strong magnetism. How does this force develop? You don't gain magnetism by wishful thinking or repeating affirmations without conviction. It arises from what Hill called conquering fear, bringing the hidden enemies of the mind into the light. Fear includes all the things you were taught to suppress: doubt, envy, anger, insecurity, even ambition. Society often trains us to hide these impulses in the name of acceptance, but suppression doesn't create peace. It creates weakness. When you confront your fears, you begin reclaiming the lost parts of your will. You face what you denied, forgive what you buried, and discipline the parts of yourself that once controlled you. This process of mastery strengthens your magnetism. You are no longer carrying chaotic, unorganized energy. You have transformed it into power, and people can feel it, even if they can't explain it. Hill taught that when the conscious and subconscious mind are harmonized through definiteness of purpose and applied faith, you generate what he called cosmic habit force, a power greater than the ego that radiates success. When you reach this state, your magnetism no longer reflects confusion, but coherence, and that coherence feels magnetic, commanding, and unsettling to those who still drift without purpose. Sign 6. You change the energy of the room simply by entering. One of the clearest indicators of strong magnetism is that your presence doesn't just fill space, it alters it. You walk in, conversations pause, people glance at you, and the atmosphere shifts. You didn't announce yourself. You didn't demand attention. Your energy field arrived before you did. That is the invisible force of definiteness of purpose. Hill often taught that a person's inner mental state inevitably shapes their outer world. Thoughts are contagious. If you walk into a space carrying clarity, self-control, and determination, you unbalance the mental atmosphere. This can happen in two ways. Elevating the environment. You calm tension, ground confusion, or inspire action. Disturbing the environment. Your stability exposes instability in others and they react. People notice you not because of looks, charm, or volume, but because your vibration is unified. That coherence is rare in a scattered world. Even animals and children sense it. They respond before the mind can explain it. Hill would call this the influence of infinite intelligence, the universal mind, recognizing definiteness when it appears. With this power comes responsibility. When you enter a room, you set the tone. People will remember your presence long after you've left. Sign 7. You spark deep conversations without trying. For reasons you may not fully grasp, people feel compelled to share their stories with you. Strangers open up. Acquaintances confess truths. Even guarded people speak of their fears. Why? Because your magnetism gives silent permission. It is safe to be real here. In a world of masks, that is rare and powerful. Hill believed all transformation begins when hidden thoughts are brought into conscious awareness. Your presence invites that honesty. People sense you will not judge them, that you can handle complexity. Without flinching, you don't offer shallow interaction. You offer depth, but this carries consequences. Not everyone is ready for the vulnerability you inspire. Some may later feel exposed. Others may use you as an outlet for their pain. This is where discernment is vital. Holding space is different from carrying burdens. You are not a dumping ground for unresolved wounds. You are a mirror, and that alone is service. Sign 8. You naturally repel the superficial. You don't need to avoid shallow people. Your magnetism does it for you. Those who thrive on gossip, drama, or empty praise feel uneasy around you. They may dismiss you as too serious or boring. Why? Because false energy cannot survive in the presence of truth, and you are truth embodied through definiteness of purpose. Hill exposed the alibi habit, the false identities people create to justify mediocrity. Most never remove that mask. But when someone arrives who lives without excuses, the illusion shatters. You don't play games, you don't laugh at empty jokes, you don't feed drama. You live on another frequency. They may provoke you, test you, or avoid you, but underneath is insecurity. You represent the path they are avoiding, a life of self-mastery. If shallow people feel uncomfortable around you, take it as confirmation. Your energy demands depth, and not all are ready to give it. Sign 9. People feel either drained or energized after being with you. This is one of the most misunderstood aspects of magnetism. Some leave your presence inspired, calm, and renewed. Others leave restless, anxious, or drained. And sometimes you feel exhausted, yourself. Why? Because strong magnetism doesn't just exist, it interacts. Every meeting of minds is an exchange of energy. Hill compared the mind to a battery, constantly charging and discharging through thought vibrations. When two minds meet, resonance or friction occurs. Those in harmony with themselves are lifted by your presence. Those in denial or fear may feel overwhelmed because your energy amplifies their dissonance. Some may even unconsciously try to siphon your strength. They are not evil, but they have not built their own mental batteries, so they feed on yours. This is why Hill stressed the importance of boundaries, not walls but filters. You must regulate access to your energy, especially with those who always leave you depleted. You don't need to cut everyone off, but you must learn when to shine outwardly and when to draw inward for renewal. Signs 10 to 13 of powerful magnetism. 10. You are often targeted by toxic individuals. If your magnetism is strong, manipulators and unstable people may be drawn to you. It seems strange. Why would broken people chase wholeness? Because they want your light. Disconnected from their own power, they see in you what they cannot create within themselves. Instead of disciplining their minds, they attempt to attach to you, manipulate you, or break your focus. Hill called this the danger of negative influences. Those who refuse self-mastery try to control those who have it. Your task is not to rescue them. It is to discern. Are they drawn to grow or to consume? A leader without boundaries is vulnerable. A leader with boundaries is untouchable. Sign 11. Children and animals are instinctively drawn to you. Unlike adults, they don't operate behind masks. They respond to vibration, not appearance. If your magnetism is pure, they sense it instantly. Dogs may sit calmly beside you. Infants may stare or smile. Children may approach, as if they've always known you. Hill spoke of the importance of maintaining the childlike spirit of imagination and innocence. When you align with truth, you radiate that same quality. This recognition isn't rational. It's energetic. It communicates, you are safe, you are real, you can be trusted. Adults lost in ego games may overlook you, but animals and children, closest to pure instinct, recognize your integrity. That trust is one of the most honest validations of your character. Sign 12. You are deeply self-aware and grounded. The stronger your grounding, the more neutral your energy feels, and the more disturbing it is to those who lack grounding. You remain calm in chaos. You speak slowly while others shout. You don't react impulsively, even under stress. To people addicted to drama, your stillness is threatening. Why? Because your peace exposes their inner conflict. Your restraint highlights their lack of discipline. Hill taught that success requires control of the mind. When you master fear and align your thoughts with purpose, you radiate quiet power. This power isn't loud. It isn't showy. It is magnetic. You no longer need to impress or dominate. You simply are. And to those living in distraction, that authenticity feels foreign. Sign 13. You no longer seek approval. Most people spend their lives chasing validation. But when your magnetism matures, you rise above that need. You no longer change opinions to fit in. You no longer apologize for your boundaries. You no longer shrink your light to protect fragile egos. You know your worth. You have endured solitude, faced hardship, and found peace. Without applause, this makes you uncontrollable. Hill wrote, The person who knows exactly what they want and is determined to get it cannot be defeated. When you stop seeking approval, you break social scripts. You cannot be guilt-tripped or manipulated, and for those who depend on conformity, your independence is terrifying. You destroy the illusion that belonging requires obedience. Your presence says, "I am not for sale." And in a world that sells everything, that message is revolutionary. Embracing and protecting your magnetism. Strong magnetism is not performance. It is the outcome of integration, discipline, awareness, grounding, and maturity. It can inspire, heal, and transform, but it also carries responsibility. You must understand what your energy does. Protect your field without shutting down. Use your magnetism for purpose, not pride. It is not a trophy, it is a tool. Hill insisted that true power comes from authenticity, not superiority. When you align thought, faith, and purpose, your magnetism strengthens automatically. But if misused for vanity or control, it becomes polluted and weakens. Treat it as sacred. Let it serve growth, inspiration, and truth of never ego. Boundaries and renewal. A strong aura attracts pain and projections. If you're careless, you absorb what isn't yours. That leads to burnout. The solution is discernment. Ground yourself before entering spaces. Be a filter, not a sponge. Set clear limits. Say no without guilt. Every time you honor your peace, your magnetism strengthens. Catalyst, not savior. People will lean on you, but you cannot walk their path. Hill stressed that every person must master their own mind. You can inspire but not rescue. You are a catalyst, not a crutch. Daily practices. Magnetism must be renewed. Solitude is mental hygiene. Shadow work sharpens. Awareness. Childlike imagination keeps your inner flame alive. Embodiment grounds your energy in reality. Service to something greater. Most importantly, magnetism without purpose is dangerous. With purpose, it is unstoppable. Hill believed every person carries a mission, a definite chief aim. When you find yours, you stop performing. You simply exist with intention. Your vibration is not random. Your restlessness is not a flaw. It is a sign. You are here not to conform, but to transform. Write this in your success journal today. Where in your life are you still seeking approval instead of living with definiteness of purpose? Comment below one decision you will make right now to protect your energy and strengthen your personal magnetism. The lesson is simple. Personal magnetism is not a trophy, it's a responsibility. It demands self-discipline, clarity, and purpose. Your presence is meant to inspire, not to impress. And when you channel it into service of something greater, your very existence becomes transformative. If this video gave you value, hit the like button, share it with a friend who needs this message, and don't forget to subscribe. In the next episode, we'll uncover Napoleon Hill's strategies for defeating fear, and why mastering fear is the first step toward mastering destiny.